I used an antibiotic I did not need. My ear hurt and I was going to be flying soon. I therefore called my physician and basically demanded he prescribe me an antibiotic because I did not want to fly with an ear infection. My physician did not have much of a choice. He wanted to please me, his client, but also knew that it takes days to properly diagnose a bacterial infection. He therefore blindly prescribed me the antibiotic I wanted, not knowing whether or not I actually had an infection, which turned out to be a very poor decision on my part. Although I still don't think I actually had that ear infection, I developed a very serious side effect to the antibiotic treatment called C. diff. C. diff is a toxic bacterial infection of the colon. I'll spare you the details, but I got very sick. I lost 20 pounds. And my C. diff turned out to be multi-drug resistant, meaning it took 3 months and 4 different antibiotic courses before physicians were able to identify a treatment that helped me. By that time, so much trauma had been endured by my colon that I developed a chronic disease called ulcerative colitis. This is an autoimmune disease of the colon I will now have to deal with and maintain and treat for the rest of my life. The misuse of antibiotics I just described is rampant within the healthcare system. The CDC estimates last year 50% of all antibiotic courses were either not needed or suboptimal as prescribed. This is not the fault of the physician. They have no choice but to blindly prescribe antibiotics, as they have no way to diagnose a bacterial infection during their initial examination with the patient. The complications from the misuse of antibiotics that I described is not an isolated incident. It's happening across and having drastic effects across the U.S. healthcare system. It is leading to worse patient outcomes, not just C. diff, which affects 250,000 people a year in the U.S., but numerous other complications. The misuse of antibiotics is also the main cause of antibiotic resistance, a major global health threat. And then lastly, it's skyrocketing medical costs. This is bad for insurance payers and hospitals. Take my case, for instance. We had 4 courses of antibiotics, 2 colonoscopies, an ER visit, and multiple physician's visits just to treat my C. diff. And now we have to pay for my chronic ulcerative colitis for the rest of my life. At Nanopore Diagnostics, we believe the solution to this problem is enabling physicians to diagnose a bacterial infection during their initial exam with the patient. Therefore, the test we're developing will allow for a physician in 20 minutes, right at the patient's side, to produce comprehensive details on a patient's infection. This will enable the physician to make a targeted treatment decision during their initial examination with the patient, and therefore take the guesswork out of prescribing antibiotics.